The views or opinions expressed in this presentation are those of the participants and do not necessarily represent the views and opinions of Westman Communications Group or its employees.
Hi everyone, welcome back to an episode of the KC Chronicles via Teams, because we've been busy and I have not been able to make it to Brandon, but we persevere. How are you today,
Yes.
Colin?
I am good. Actually, I'm feeling pretty good today. Today's Friday. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And to celebrate Friday, I'm in my mountainous firefly.
That looks like you're in Iceland.
Yeah, I'm probably in Iceland. I'm actually, yeah. This is brought to you by Iceland.
Brought to you by Iceland, like as if it's a brand.
The whole country is actually sponsoring me.
Interesting career. So
Yes.
I think the first thing that we need to talk about today
Yes.
is this past Sunday, aka November 16th, was Grey Cup Sunday across Canada. And the Riders not only made it to the Grey Cup, they won the Grey Cup.
Finally
for the first
won
time
after
in like 13 years or something like that.
12.
I know it was something like that. Hey, I was close. I was 1 year
12.
off.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was at the game. I bought tickets right when they went on sale back in June.
Yeah.
Regardless of who went, I was gonna go, and it was a good game. I was hoping at least for it to be entertaining because my team was not in it.
Yeah.
But it was the first football game I've ever attended where I was a neutral observer.
Yeah.
And that felt a little weird. You show up and you expect to see your team, but it's not. You're watching two other teams.
What was the environment like?
It was good. It's there, of course there were a ton of Rider fans there.
Was it like super loud?
Oh yeah, of course it was loud. But I have to say if I had to draw like a rough percentage of like how many, like judging off of the jerseys, like how many fans there were of all the franchises, like I would say it would probably be like honestly like maybe 40% Riders, 40% Bombers, and then like 20% every other team. Like it was just it was heavily blue and gold and green and white, which makes sense because
it makes sense because we're that close, right?
Geography.
And the other thing that I'm very excited about is that they announced that in 2027 the Grey Cup is coming to Saskatchewan, so you best believe that I will be there.
Yeah, it's fun. The whole festival that they put on over the weekend, that like they had events going on around the U of M campus and also the U of W campus, which is where I went on the Saturday. It was fun. Like there's tons of great entertainment and like kind of obstacle courses and like football little kind of tryout things that it's for the kids and for people who have never seen the sport of football before, and it's a way to kind of dip their toes in it and kind of generate interest from it. I have some pictures that I took while I was there. We're gonna flash them up on screen right now. It's just my general thing. There's one I want to put, but I can't. There's one of me because at the U of W campus, they had these life-size model or like mannequins, and they had the full football uniform, like the helmets and everything of all the teams kind of dotted around. And I went to where the Saskatchewan one was, and basically the photo was like my POV and I'm flipping off the Riders mannequin. I wish I could include that, but I won't.
But that's so funny. You did that and we still won.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, you guys were very much overdue for it because, I mean, if we want to be real, in the last 6 years, we have blocked you since 2018, we have blocked you in the playoffs every single year in 2018, 19, 21, and 24. So, I mean, it was about time you guys did something.
Yeah. Honestly, very proud of the guys. They did so good. They played a good game. Like, it was a game to watch. If you were in Canada and you weren't watching it, what are you doing? Because I swear all of Canada should have been watching that game. No matter what team you cheer for, it was a good game. Like,
absolutely.
I feel like no matter what team you cheer for or where you're from, you could have been happy with the outcome of that game because at least both teams put their hearts out on the field and like just gave it their all.
I got my money's worth because, I mean, let's be real. We were in the upper bowl, like semi nosebleed. It was expensive. We're talking like $200-300 per ticket. I was just wanting the game to be close, and for a while there in the third quarter, it looked like the Riders were just going to run up the score, and this was going to be a rout. And I'm thinking, well, now this is not entertaining, and I'm not going to get my money's worth. But then in that fourth quarter, whoa, did that ever get intense?
But I'm so glad that Montreal did score as much as they did during that last bit of the game, because it made it interesting, right? Like you were saying, it looked like it was going to be a cakewalk for a while there.
Yeah.
Because Montreal just could not get their life together.
Not offensively, at least. No. But I think easily, no doubt at all, the play of the game was in the fourth quarter when the Montreal back-end quarterback got strip sacked on the 1 yard line on a QB sneak. A play that, percentage-wise, the odds of a quarterback getting strip sacked on the goal line and the other team recovering it, as opposed to the team actually not fumbling and scoring, the odds are so stupid. Like, I don't know. The football gods must just hate the Alouettes.
Honestly, that
was probably one of the most clutch defensive plays I've ever seen in my time watching football.
Yeah, and actually it was Trevor Harris's first Grey Cup as a starter.
Yeah, that's right. So, and I mean, the guy's old. He's 37, 38. Yeah, he's in his late 30s.
He's getting close up there.
He's close to the end of his career. So I mean,
what's so funny is afterwards he said, I don't know if I want to retire or if this is my prime. He's like, I don't know where I'm at.
I don't know if Well, I remember when he said that. One funny thing, I'm going to reenact this, actually. So I don't know how this came across in the broadcast, but at the stadium, because I was near like the exit gates, like after the game was over and they were doing the trophy presentation, like we were just about to leave the stadium, but we stayed for that little part. So as I'm like watching over the barricade, I can see like when they're giving the most outstanding player and the most outstanding Canadian during the game, they're like, and the most outstanding Canadian is Samuel Emelis. Yay! Emelis comes up. The guy hands him the trophy and he holds the microphone. He says, "So, Mr. Emelis, what do you think about this win and what does this mean for you?" Emelis starts talking. He's like, "Yeah, man, it means a whole lot." And the microphone went out.
Okay,
the PA cut out.
Okay, watching that from home, we were not sure if the mic went out or if they bleeped something or like what was going on.
It came through on the broadcast too.
Yeah, because we couldn't. So I was like, I don't know if they bleeped it, if he said something that he wasn't supposed to say.
No, literally, the whole microphone just went out, and he was like just talking. He kept talking, like he wasn't even fazed or bothered by it, and he kept talking. And then so like some people in the crowd were kind of like, "Oh, the microphone's off," or they were laughing, and I shouted out like amongst everybody, "That was a good speech." So,
I believe that. Yeah.
That was funny, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think
before we get to our topic, I just wanted to say we knew somebody who was working the Grey Cup. How cool is that?
Our friend Katrina.
She did so good. Oh my gosh.
Did you know what position she had? I
didn't ask her.
I didn't see. Okay.
But either way, I know somebody who worked the Grey Cup.
Well, I think more almost as importantly, it's ACC represent. We're doing big things in the world, working for.
And she only graduated 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. She graduated 2 years ago and is working for working on the Grey Cup. Like, come on.
Well, not even.
That's awesome.
She graduated last year. I graduated this year.
That's right. Yeah,
so she's only a year out from grad, just over a year.
Yeah.
So good for her.
I know. Round of applause. Round of applause is in order.
Round of applause. All right, into today's topic.
Okay. So we've done our little catch up. So today we want to, again, it's Friday. We want to have good vibes. You know, like the Beach Boys song, the good vibrations.
See, you know what I always think about? I was thinking about, don't worry, be happy. That's all I think about. That's our topic.
All systems of thought are valid. Today's episode, if you're not watching on YouTube, you probably don't know the topic. Or actually, no, you would do because you have the TV, the channel guide. Anyway, today's topic is... It's kind of a dual part, but we're going to call it things that make you happy and how to stay positive.
You know what I just imagine. Do you know
SpongeBob?
that meme? Yeah.
Yeah, like the SpongeBob. Yeah. Because okay, so for anyone who's not Gen Z, there's a popular meme from the TV show SpongeBob where SpongeBob is talking about imagination, and I don't know if he says it to Mr. Krabs or Squidward, but he parts his hands like this, and he goes, imagination, and a rainbow starts just comes out of his hands, and
imagination.
Exactly. But today it's all about
that should be
positivity.
The thumbnail of this episode. It's just
it's probably going to be I might try and Photoshop a rainbow that says positivity. We'll see about that.
Yeah, there you go.
But yes, it's about positivity and how to be happy and things that make you happy. We're picking up good vibrations.
Because it's Friday.
It's Friday, and you know what?
And we're one step closer to Christmas.
Woo! Yeah, at the time we're taping this on November 21st.
We're just a month-ish away
from month and 4 days.
Christmas. That's crazy. That's wild.
Christmas episodes are on the way. And you know what that means, right? I don't want to forget that.
And matching Christmas sweaters.
That's right. I still have mine from. Yeah.
Oh my god, mine's hanging up in my closet.
I was gonna say I don't know where I put mine, but it's around. It's around.
Good, because we'll have to break those out again.
Absolutely. Anyway, we're getting so distracted here. So staying positive. To dive in, let's be honest here. In the year of our Lord, 2025, with the 24-hour news cycle, with phones in everyone's pockets, with AI running rampant, and the geopolitical landscape being about as turbulent as, I don't know, 100 cats in a bathtub. Staying positive and seeing the bright side of life, or keeping yourself grounded and rational, is difficult. Nobody on this earth is perfect. Nobody on this earth, no matter how hard they try, no one can stay positive 100% of the time. And it's easy for us to fall down the crypts of doom scrolling, really just fill in the blank, whatever word you feel is appropriate. So that's what today's episode is about. It's about staying positive. So what are your thoughts, Kenzie?
I think that as a young person, especially in this day and age, I feel anxiety and depression are a lot more frequent in people. And I don't know exactly what the cause of that is, whether it be because we're, a very media focused generation or whatever, but there seems to be a lot more anxiety and depression present in our world. So I think that makes it even more difficult to stay positive, be happy, because I feel like it's also kind of expected to have that anxiety or depression. Do you know what I mean? It's almost expected at this point.
Yeah, it almost seems like whenever you run into someone who doesn't suffer from any mental health problems, it's almost like when maybe about unsettling. I know, when maybe 30, 40 years ago, it's the other way around, where, someone who does have mental health problems, they're called unstable, and they're seen as,
So I feel like it's really hard with social media, especially, to find that peace of mind, that happiness, because social media is not a very good thing when it comes to that. It can be a good thing for say recipes or whatever. It can be used for good. But I feel like a lot of our generation has used it for bad, and it makes it incredibly hard to find that peace of mind and find that happiness, because either you're constantly comparing yourself to these people online, and not everything you see online is real. So you can see this influencer per se, and they're so happy all the time. And you're I wish I could be like that, but say they are miserable when they're not on camera. Do you know what I mean? So it's just it's really hard to know what's real and what's not, and how to navigate that, which I think makes it a lot harder for the younger generation to be happy, stay positive type thing. Does that make any sense? I would agree with
that. I know, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. And I think in our social media episode from well over a year ago, we did touch into these topics a little bit, but that's the thing with when you have things like social media, it paints this picture where you see all these people and they look like they have you know,
perfect lives
and those perfect lives, and you have those accounts where it's like these two people and they're a cutesy couple and they look like they're just, it's like sunshine, rainbows, and peaches.
Sunshine, rainbows, and peaches.
And peaches. I don't know. Peaches are good. But yeah, it's, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this is, I mean, I wouldn't say my opinion is that far out there, but I think 99% of it is all big fat BS. Big fat BS. Social media is where we show the best versions of ourselves in very short little snippets. You don't see, like, think of like the iceberg, you know, where you see that the very little section that's above water, but then you have this giant mass that's way bigger underneath the water that you don't see through social media. Well,
and I agree. I think that in a relationship sort of sense, like when you're boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, I think that it's very, very, very important that you do not compare your relationship to the ones that you see online, because the ones you see online are put on for show. Like they may be in this nice, happy relationship, but what you see online is all for show. They post it for show. So you can't compare what you have in real life to what you see on a screen, because if you do that, that is going to cause you to self-sabotage your own relationship. And that's why I feel like a lot of relationships don't last in our day and age, is because everybody's comparing themselves to the couples that are online that are there for show.
All relationships come in different shapes and sizes. And while I absolutely like agree that the relationships you see on social media are the best versions of themselves, I would even go so far as to say sometimes it's even exaggerated because they're farming for views. They are trying to scam all the views and all the revenue to make money. So it's not just the fact that they're showing the perfect version of themselves, they're making up straight up false crap, and they're going to give people false expectations.
Yeah. So I feel like even just like in relationships, it's hard to be happy and stay positive because you're seeing all this online that's like, in a word, fake, right? Like, so I feel like just social media in a way has been the biggest barrier for young people to stay positive and be happy.
Yeah, personally. and I mean, of course, social media and relationships and friendships is just one very narrow slice of the pie. Like when you look at, I kind of touched upon it, when you look at the political realm. Now, I'm not going to pretend like that there was ever a time where it ever was good and sunshine and rainbows. It's always been terrible. But I think in the day and age that we're in, where we are, I think, almost undoubtedly the most informed generation because of our access to the internet, we are more aware of the active crap that is coming out of world leaders, are very terrible situations, famines, genocides, everything happening around the world. We have access to all of this, even videos of it happening in real time. It's not like, sorry, go on.
Sorry, and speaking of like the politics thing, with everything, especially recently, that's going on with the US, and I'm not going to get into detail, but if you know, you know, the US has been falling apart the last month. Just because of some stuff that came out, and it's wild to see that. Like,
certain court documents, but again, depends on how far back you want to go, whether it's who is in the Oval Office, the certain court documents, or again, you could look at in the more bigger sphere, you can look at what's happening in Sudan, Israel, Palestine, Russia, Ukraine. It doesn't matter what direction you look in, there is some very negative stuff going on. So this all ties back into, when you see all of this in the world, how do you stay positive, and how can you, live with a peace of mind, despite the fact that I think we all can accept and realize that bad things happen every single day to people who do not deserve it. It's an unfortunate reality of life. For as much as we wish we could have a utopian paradise, you have to keep yourself grounded. And that's one thing which is hard to do when you have social media, 24-hour news cycles bombarding you constantly.
With all the negative stuff.
With all the negative stuff, they create a false sense of the world. And with all the false information out there, it gives you a warped perception of what the world actually is. No matter what your stance is, like take global warming, for example. You have a legion of people that are complete doomerists. They think that like next month, this world is going to collapse. they have that, or they have that, how they present their content. It's like, the world is going to collapse by the end of next year. Good luck. And then you have the other side that say, you know, it's not real. Let me go buy another 12 billion barrels of oil. You have all these exaggerated opinions and false lies. It's how do you actually keep grounded, and how do you stay in the present of what is actually going on and not about what's exaggerated online because again, panic, consume, it's one big cycle.
Yeah.
Okay, deep breath. That was the bad part. Let's focus on the good part.
Hold on. Speaking of global warming, I just find it so interesting. Like, this is just to me, I find this so interesting that we are almost at the end of November and there's no snow on the ground.
Yeah, so
like,
where we are
wild to me.
I know,
especially
like,
in Canada.
I know, like where we are in our little slice of the world, we had a slight dusting of snow
for maybe a week.
Yeah, for a couple days.
I don't even think it lasted that long, but
yeah, and now it's like we've had some kind of decent-ish weather for November's sake. Granted, it's still like it's getting, you know, like below freezing during the night and whatnot, but we've been lucky. We've had no permanent snow yet, so.
And I just think, like, from a global warming aspect, I just think that's insane because pretty much like every winter since I've been little, we've had snow earlier. Like, usually we have it right before Halloween.
Yeah, it ebbs and flows, of course.
It ebbs and flows, and I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I am just shocked that we've made it this far without snow. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a shocking thing as a Canadian.
Yeah, I think the latest I remember was, I think it was December 2020, where at least here in Westman, we didn't get permanent snow until, I want to say, like second week of December. Like, we had snow, it melted, but it didn't permanently come until like second week of December, which is pretty nuts when you think about it. It's like a week or two away from Christmas. So
yeah, like that's like so weird. But I just wanted to for the Canadian viewers, in other parts of Canada, is there snow on the ground right now? Like, we're in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. In other parts of in other parts of Canada, is there snow permanently on the ground? Like, I'm just curious.
I would have to imagine the further north you go, there's going to be more snow.
Well, I would assume so, but like, let's say like over in Alberta or BC or like Quebec or whatever, is there snow permanently on the ground right now?
Leave it in the comments on YouTube.
Let us know.
Or shout your answer through the TV screen and we will hear it.
We'll hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Back to the topic at hand. So, positivity. That's what we're going to kind of start with a little bit. We'll kind of jump back and forth between like positivity and things that make you happy. We'll just kind of ebb and flow as we go. So the first little, we're going to do some reading now.
Close, kids, put your listening ears on.
Come close, put your listening ears on. Okay. So the first topic so this comes from the Mayo Clinic, one of the top clinic, hospital, research facilities in the United States. So, understanding positive thinking and self-talk. Positive thinking doesn't mean that you ignore life's less pleasant situations. Positive thinking just means that you approach unpleasantness with a more positive and productive way. You think the best is going to happen, not the worst. Positive thinking often starts with self-talk. Self-talk is the endless stream of unspoken thoughts that run through your head. These automatic thoughts can be positive or negative. Some of your self-talk comes from logic and reason. Other self-talk may arise from misconceptions that you create because of the lack of information or expectations due to preconceived ideas of what may happen. If the thoughts that run through your head are mostly negative, your outlook on life is more likely pessimistic. If your thoughts are mostly positive, you're likely an optimist, someone who practices positive thinking. So it's simple definition, but I think it just kind of explains if your paradigm is often in the valley of low, your whole outlook on life and your approach to stressful situations, or really any situation, is going to kind of be not very pleasant to deal with or be around.
You know what I think? I think that this stuff should be taught in schools.
I would agree, actually. This would be,
It could be incorporated in a health class. Think about it like that. Like, it is a part of your physical and mental well-being. It should be a part of health class. Most schools don't, like, I have never been in a school that has focused on that stuff or has done a unit on that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think we could save a lot of young people from getting to that negative spot. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they started teaching this in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, whatever, and it was like a thing yearly to like talk about it, I feel like we could save a lot of young people from going down the rabbit hole of pessimism.
I would agree, actually. I think school focuses a little too much on just teaching the facts. You know, it's just, like, here's all these facts, here's all this information.
Memorize them and learn them.
Cram it. Yeah, exactly.
But, like, I feel like...
I think school should...
Go ahead.
I think it should be a dual where you do teach facts, but you also teach it in a way where you invigorate the students to want to learn. And I think this is one way, because when you teach the facts, okay, positive thinking and self-talk is good. Now we're going to learn, and I want you guys to learn ways that you can shift your paradigm and be more positive. That actually engages the brain.
Yeah. And I think that as a young woman as well, like, I would have benefited from learning how to positively think, because there's a lot of body negativity on the internet.
Right.
And as a woman, I have grown up with body issues, body struggles, because I never learned how to think about the good side of myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was never taught how to shift that paradigm when I'm thinking about myself.
Absolutely.
I think, especially for a lot of young women, I think that would be a very beneficial thing to learn while you're in school.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be real, bullies are a very, very prominent thing at school. And I feel like bullying and all that could have not necessarily been fixed, but there at least people would know how to, like, shift and think better of themselves and not let it affect them so much, or like just feel more comfortable in their skin, because a lot of women don't. And I'm not saying that men don't either. It's just prominently, from my knowledge, it's mostly a woman issue.
Absolutely.
And so I feel like a lot of young women would benefit from learning that stuff in school, because like I said, there's so much body negativity on the internet. You're constantly seeing all these women and comparing yourselves and impossible beauty standards. So I feel like this is something that should be 110% taught in schools, because it could
110% agree.
It could save a lot of young women from going down the rabbit hole of body issues.
Or at the very least, it could hopefully mitigate the negativity that comes from it. It doesn't have as much of a punch.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
So now it's okay. So we've said what it is. Now let's kind of just get some basic ways of the health benefits of positive thinking. Researchers continue to explore the effects of positive thinking and optimism on health. Health benefits that positive thinking may provide include, get ready for this, an increased lifespan, lower rates of depression, lower levels of distress and pain, greater resistance to illnesses, better psychological and physical well-being, better cardiovascular health, and reduced risk of death from cardiovascular disease and stroke, reduced risk of death from cancer, respiratory conditions, and from infections, better coping skills during hardships and times of stress. Like, that's crazy. And it says it's unclear why people who engage in positive thinking it's unclear why people who engage in positive thinking experience these health benefits. One theory is that having a positive outlook enables you to cope better with stressful situations, which reduces the harmful health effects of stress on your body. And that's a bad killer. Stress, of course, is an evolutionary thing that we developed, you know, when we're a tribe in the forest and a tiger attacks us, temporary stress was necessary for us to be able to overpower, to either fight or flight. But when chronic stress attacks you, that's the worst double-edged sword of stress. And I think that's what cuts down a lot of people, particularly adults, in the day-to-day life.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that stress is the biggest killer. Like, we talk about all these things that kill people, but in reality, the biggest killer is stress.
Yeah. I mean, I think, let's be honest, it has a grapple hold on us as it does anybody else. So it's, I think recognizing it, I think, is the most important first step. The second best thing is learning out how to actually deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so now, how to identify negative thinking? If you're not sure if your self-talk is positive or negative, here are some common forms of negative self-talk, and this is what it may include. Filtering. You magnify the negative aspects of a situation and filter out all the positive ones. For example, you had a great day at work. You completed your tasks ahead of time and were complimented for doing a speedy and thorough job. But that evening, you focus only on your plan to do even more tasks, and you forget about the compliments that you received. So a constant drive. You're kind of watering and kind of filtering out all the praise you received, and just, I have to do more. I have to do more. I have to do more. And you're not taking the time to slow down and actually be like,
whoa, I did a good job.
Exactly. It's just, this is not good. Just this constantly is not good.
Yeah.
Personalizing. When something bad occurs, you automatically blame yourself. For example, you hear that an evening out with friends is canceled, and you assume that the change in plans is because no one wanted to be around you. I think we've all dealt with this one at least once in our lives.
I will say I'm really bad for this one. I don't know what it is, but I've always, every time something goes wrong, I just blame myself. And I know I need to get better at it, but I'm absolutely terrible for that one. And
I will admit,
this is the first step. I am acknowledging it to the internet.
Boom.
So making progress, guys.
It is an important first step, because a lot of people deny it, or they put down that thought. They put it in the back of their head. They say, no, I'm just talking crazy. And I wonder if that's a generational thing, because with how serious our generation takes mental health, I wonder if we're actually finally seeing that shift where people, or you see people our age, and we're not so quick to just throw these thoughts away. Like we kind of like, whoa. We stick and we let these thoughts sit for a while and actually think, okay, wait a minute. Am I overreacting, or is there something actually here that maybe I'm not addressing? So it's an important first step. This one I already know that I am the worst at, and I'm probably actually the worst at trying to pronounce this word, so hopefully this goes well. Oh my goodness gracious. Catastrophizing. Did I say that right?
I think
catastrophe. Okay, catastrophizing. You automatically anticipate the worst without facts that the worst will happen. The drive-through coffee shop gets your order wrong, and then you think the rest of your day will be a disaster.
That's me.
That's me too.
Oh my goodness. I guess I don't know what it is, but I always anticipate the worst in everything, and I'm like, I hate that I do it too, because I know I can recognize that I'm doing it, that I'm preparing for the worst, and at the same time I'm like, but I can't really stop doing it. So
I know that's the tough part. I know I have that too, especially when it comes to things about myself. I have a bit of chest pain, and it's probably because I just pulled a muscle, or I had a workout.
I'm dying.
And it's I'm now in the process of developing a heart attack. It's no, slow down. You're young. Your heart's fine. Slow yo roll, sister. Okay.
I might need to say that in the mirror to myself, just slow yo roll, sister. Chill the frick out. It's okay.
Hey, if it works, it works. I mean, come on. Okay. So there's a couple more here. These are a little quick, so maybe I'll list these out in small little groups, and then we can pivot. We can talk about some things that make us happy, so we're at least keeping things fresh. So these last 4 or 5, sorry, I'll just bang these out because they're very quick. So blaming. You try to say someone else is responsible for what happened to you instead of yourself. You avoid being responsible for your thoughts and feelings, or saying you should do something. You think of all the things that you should that you think that you should do, and blame yourself for not doing them. Magnifying. You make a big deal out of a minor problem. Perfectionism. Keeping impossible standards and trying to be more perfect sets yourself up for failure. And then finally, polarizing. You see things as only either good or bad. There is no middle ground. So again, so kind of just to
I'm learning so much about myself today.
And you know what? I know it can be a bit of an eye opener, and you kind of feel vulnerable or exposed, but
a little bit
in a backhanded way, it's good because again, you understand and you learn more about yourself. So again, filtering, personalizing, catastrophizing. I still feel like I'm saying that wrong, but
call him out in the comments if he's wrong.
We'll find out later. Blaming, saying you should do something, magnifying, perfectionism, and polarizing. If you're watching along and you've identified these things within yourself, these are examples of what is negative thinking or negative self-talk, right? So again, if you're able to identify these, maybe then your next step is, okay, how can I switch that up? But we're going to take a pause. And before we pivot to things that make us happy, why don't we do a quick social media plug?
All right, everybody. If you're new here, obviously we have a YouTube. If you're watching it on YouTube, if you're not and you're watching it on the TV channel, we have a YouTube where every single episode we have ever made is free to stream. So go to KC Chronicles on YouTube. Same logo as everything, our opener. You should be able to identify us pretty easily and go watch every single one of our episodes because we're pretty cool. Number 2, we have a TikTok and an Instagram account in which we post social media clips. New one might be coming soon. We post social media clips, funny moments, and just life-changing things that we can't really say on the podcast, we say there, or vice versa. So that tag is at KC_Chronicles 2024.
You got it.
Okay, I could not remember. It's been a minute. And last but not least, if you or somebody you know wants to go into the studio and do a podcast with yourself, your friends, whatever, you can email WCGTV@westmancom.com and they will get back to you about coming into the studio. If you would like to join us on our podcast, we can have you in on the Microsoft Teams Zoom chat, or whenever we're in the studio, we can get you in there. So if you would like to join and add your input and do an episode with us, you can email us at kcchronicles2024@gmail.com. That's everything.
God, you're so good at that. That's why I leave it to you, because you're able to just like, you're like Babe Ruth, just swinging like a home run, and you're like, perfect.
Just spitting off the cuff, man.
Just spitting off the cuff, and you nail it every time.
Oh, such a compliment.
Well, because I would fluff it. I know I would fluff it. I'd probably give the email for the Instagram or somehow. I don't know. yeah. Our Instagram account is @gmail.com. No.
What? Can't find @gmail.com on Instagram. Y'all, I don't think we get out enough.
No, that's another saying that we have. We have the
heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Be thy name. It's a marathon,
not a sprint.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Not a sprint.
Tequila will tequila ya. And we don't get out enough, or we need to get out more.
Guys, t-shirts coming soon.
Every time I feel like I say that, we should do that. No, listen. We gotta at least make t-shirts, at least for the two of us, right?
Yeah.
Hats. Like, we gotta do that. We gotta look into it.
We gotta get on that.
There's a million websites that are available in this country that we can take.
I also know a guy in Moosomin who does embroidery. So,
maybe
for pretty cheap.
Look into.
Well, embroidery, he does embroidery and t-shirts and stuff. Like one time, I got my mom a t-shirt for her birthday because she loved Morgan Wallen.
Right.
And it's... Do you know the song "Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy"?
The title sounds familiar. I haven't heard
Anyway,
it.
it's by Big and Rich. I had him change the saying to "Save a Horse, Ride Morgan Wallen." And I gave it to my mom for her birthday.
Oh my gosh, this is a family-friendly show.
It was family-friendly. No, but it was funny and she loved it, and it was only $20. So we'll look into it.
Maybe we'll look into it.
Anyway,
okay.
Back on to a topic.
Things that make us happy. This is something where we can really just go off the cuff. What makes you happy? What things do you do? What things do you like to do that just make you happy? For whatever reason. It can be a quick happy or a long time happy.
reading. If I'm ever in like a really bad, just like state of mind, I will whip out a good book. Maybe if I'm in a really bad state and I don't want to start a new book, I will reread a book that I've already read that I know that I love, because I'm like, it will just bring me joy. Also just like driving around, listening to music when you're stressed, I find like helps me, calms me.
Yes.
Because the driving gives me something to focus on, and the music kind of fills my brain. So then I like, I don't know if that makes sense, but then I'm just like, no thoughts, just music, driving, done. I'm trying to think. I mean, like watching my.
I was like, why don't we just go? Yeah, I was like, why don't we just go like back and forth? We'll just bounce.
What about you? What about you?
I love to sing to music, listen to music and sing to it, even if it's crappy singing. I don't care.
Which it always is. I'm just kidding.
You would know. You would know. All the times that we've been on the travel shoots, it ranges from passable to atrocious.
I still hear it in my nightmares.
Well, I'm curious, which one is in your nightmares? I'd love to know.
The Katy Perry.
The Katy Perry. That's probably one of the worst examples, I'd say.
Or Juno.
Oh gosh, I'm so glad we have not. Oh no, that's not true. You've recorded it. You've recorded me singing it before.
Yeah, when I'm stressed, I listen to Colin singing Juno.
To be fair, that could probably cure like depression in anybody. Because oh gosh,
I should give that to my therapist to be like, please use this to help all the patients who need it.
Yeah, some therapists I follow online, like they'll just post like random like positivity stuff on their Instagram story. And that's one thing that they should just add randomly. You know, it's like how to understand and cope with an eating disorder. And then all of a sudden it's just me going like, you know,
have you ever tried this one?
This one? I know, yeah. Oh gosh. It would probably
cure my depression, honestly.
I know. That would be something.
Yeah.
Wow. Being with friends, and specifically one thing that has stood the test of time, because like being with friends and like laughing and chatting, that's one fun thing. The one thing that I credit to when we did this back in August, going swimming with your friends. That for some reason is still fun, even as an adult.
Was fun.
Swimming is fun. I don't know why.
We had a good time. We were just throwing the football at each other. Okay, so I'm gonna preface this story by saying we were not inebriated in any sense. We were completely sober doing this.
Which makes it even better.
There was a little swirly slide. And so what we would do is one person would go up to the top of the slide with this football that we had, and the other four would line up with their backs facing the out part of the slide so that we didn't see it coming. And then the person that went down the slide, when they got to the bottom, had to like whip the football and try and hit us. Could. Yeah. I got hit in the head.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you just got off the dome.
Yeah, it was a fun game, but it was like a game of chicken, but for
pretty much. Yeah. And if you got hit, you would be the one to go up the slide next. Yeah. That was lots of fun.
Again, completely sober, but we made our own fun, and it honestly was a good day.
I know. I would happily do that like every weekend. Like seriously, because and then we played like Monkey in the Middle as well. Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure like we kept splashing water in each other's eyes. I think I tried to drown you at one point.
And we were all adults over 20.
I know. There were like kids in like high school, like a couple of high schoolers who were like there and watching us going, oh gosh.
Yeah, we were embarrassing and they didn't even know
us. Like they're probably thinking, wow, I'm like 12 and I'm more mature than these 20-some-year-olds.
Yep, it was a fun time.
But who cares when you're having fun? Who cares? Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, this one, I have a feeling you'll probably like this as well. And you can change this. This can vary, but having a hot shower or a hot bath after being outside in the winter or out in the cold rain for a prolonged amount of time.
Just a nice hot shower too, just at any point.
Isn't really that nice. Just like one of the best things ever? Like I don't know why. I know that giant fluctuation in temperature from cold to warm. For some reason, it's like therapy.
And then there's sometimes I'm just like, I have the hot shower, and then I'm like, oh, I don't want to get out. I'm really warm. I know if I step out of the shower, I'm gonna be freezing my butt off.
I know. It's like, oh, I love this hot water, but my water bill and this plant doesn't have infinite water. Oh, I guess I gotta turn this off.
Yeah. And then you step out of the shower and then you're instantly freezing cold. You're like, should have stayed in the shower.
See, this is where I've adopted the 2-towel rule. It's the best way to. So instead of just using 1 towel, you use 2. Now, if you have long hair,
use 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you have long hair, yeah, obviously, it makes more sense to have 2 towels. But I quickly drop, or like I stop my hair from dripping, and then I like mummify myself in towels, and that retains the heat enough so you're not like dying of cold.
See, right? I can't even get my hair to not drip because I have so much hair, and I have naturally wavy hair, which means my hair holds even more water. Because if you don't know, a little science lesson here. If you don't know how wavy hair works, your wavy hair, the waves in your hair are like pockets, and those pockets hold moisture. So even when you dry your hair and you think it's not dripping wet, 5 seconds later, it's going to be dripping wet again. And it takes about 12 years to dry.
Yep. High five for wavy hair, right? That's us, all right.
It's whacked by. Anyway.
This is another one. Now, I mean, I think you enjoy this as well, but for me, this is a big enjoyance. Summertime football games / playoff hockey. Basically watching sports in person. On TV is good, but in person,
it's just the environment's so cool.
I know the environment is so magical. Like, I'm just gonna quickly pull out some of the sports games that it felt so magical. The 2024 West Final, yes, that came at the Riders' expense, but I swear to God, the energy in the environment in that stadium was unreal. I can't even describe it. You have to just experience it. When you see like thousands of people all screaming their heads off and high-fiving, like hugging each other, it's like, I don't know you, but yet I'm treating you like you're a best friend. And it's that camaraderie is so cool. But except when you're losing, it's the exact opposite. And then you probably and then you end up starting fights with people and you get thrown out.
Intriguing. I've never started a fight with anybody, but
I haven't, but I've seen it. And then the Jets, I went to game 1 against St. Louis, which the Jets won, and that was amazing. I would give all my money to go see that game all over again because, oh my gosh. Just, guys, listen. If you are just vaguely interested in sports, go and see playoff football or playoff hockey. Those two are the best. Yeah. Forget basketball, forget baseball, forget all those sports. I would even forget soccer. Playoff hockey, I think, is the best playoffs. Come at me, bro.
Yeah, I want to see an NHL game at one point. Like that's on my bucket list.
I'll take you and Ashton to a Jets game. We'll go.
Yeah.
We'll go. Just hit. I saw that. You just hit the dab, didn't you?
I'm bringing it back.
I know. Yeah, we were saying just before we started filming that it's next year. It's going to be 10 years since the dab started, which makes me feel a little ancient.
It makes me feel old because I can say I remember when that came out.
I remember when that came out too. It was everywhere.
Or when I say the same thing with music, I get really sad because I'm like, oh, I'm that old. Like I forget that I am ancient.
You're like 20. You're 20, and you think you're ancient.
I feel ancient.
Feel ancient.
You know what else makes me happy?
What else makes you happy?
A good coffee or like just drink. When you're having a bad day and you go to Tim's or Starbucks and you just get a really good drink, like a good chai latte, or like when I go to Starbucks and they write a cute little note on it and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys actually care.
Yeah, that is good. I mean, honestly, yeah, like when it's, I mean, I don't drink Coke that much anymore, but I mean, nothing beats like it's a hot day and you're just a bit thirsty and you crack open a fresh Coke and you put some ice cubes in it, like,
if you're me.
Or Dr. Pepper. Like seriously, like that, it quenches your thirst and provides such a dopamine release. It's insane.
If I'm just having a bad day, I like to go to Starbucks because Starbucks, I don't know why, I just like their drinks. It's all pretty. I know it's expensive, but like, hey, it makes me happy.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't have a ton of time left, and in the time that we do have, let's pivot back to being positive. So we identified the negative thinking those negative thinking patterns. Now we're gonna pivot, and now we're gonna be focusing on positive thinking. Okay, so Gather around, children. Here are some ways to shift yourself into a positive state of mind. Focusing on positive thinking. You can learn to turn negative thinking into positive thinking. The process is simple, but it does take time and practice. You're creating a new habit, after all. Following are some ways to think and behave in a more positive and optimistic way. Identify areas to change. If you want to become more optimistic and engage in more positive thinking, first, identify areas of your life that you usually think negatively about, whether it's work, your daily commute, life changes, or a relationship. You can start small by focusing on one area to approach in a more positive way. Think of a positive thought to manage your stress instead of a negative one. Sounds simple, but of course in practice, that's where, again, it's not difficult, but it just takes, it's like several little steps that you have to build into building a new habit, which is, it's not easy, right? I feel like building unconscious bad habits is way easier than building conscious good habits, right? Check yourself.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Wreck yourself, yeah. Periodically during the day, stop and evaluate what you're thinking. If you find that your thoughts are mainly negative, try and find a way to put a positive spin on them. Be open to humor. Giving yourself permission to smile or laugh, especially during difficult times. Seek humor in everyday happenings.
If you need some humor, watch us.
Exactly.
We're pretty funny.
It says, when you can laugh at life, you feel less stressed. That's something that I think I could work on. Even though I love to laugh, I think it's important for me to inject
laughing in the hard
humor.
Moments.
Exactly. Just injecting humor into it. It kind of takes the steam out of bad moments, right?
100%.
Follow a healthy lifestyle. Aim to exercise for about 30 minutes on most days of the week. You can also break it up into 5 or 10-minute chunks of time spread out throughout the day. Exercise can positively affect mood and reduce stress. Follow a healthy diet to fuel your mind and body. Get enough sleep and learn techniques to manage stress. This is the one I think I've been personally able to follow the most, as I do about 30, 40, 50 minutes of exercise at least, like three, 4 times a week. So I'm proud of myself there. Surround yourself with positive people. And now this is, I think, a very, very important one. Make sure those in your life are positive, supportive people. Oh, pop up on my laptop. 1 minute. There we go. Make sure those in your life are positive and supportive people you can depend on to give helpful advice and feedback. Negative people may increase your stress level and make you doubt your ability to manage stress in healthy ways. So it's pretty self-explanatory. If you've got a pain in the butt that's always around you, maybe work on getting that pain in the butt out. That's you.
What?
Whatever.
Bruh. Whatever.
But no, seriously, if this is someone negative at your work, maybe don't spend as much time around them. If it's I'll use this in quotations, a friend, maybe time to kind of get that friend out. Toxic people in your life. The term toxic is used for a reason. Toxicity is bad. You don't want something toxic around you, typically, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, practice positive self-talk. Start by following one simple rule. Don't say anything to yourself that you wouldn't say to anyone else. I think that's a very important one. Be gentle and encouraging with yourself. If a negative thought enters your mind, evaluate it rationally and respond with affirmations of what is good about you. Think about things you're thankful for in your life. So there you go. Those are some ways that you can kind of work on shifting that paradigm into something positive. And again, to quickly recap, identify areas to change, check yourself, be open to humor, follow a healthy lifestyle, surround yourself with positive people, and practice positive self-talk. And now, super duper quickly, I'm going to give you some examples, right? Because there are we say use this positive thinking, but how do you put that into practice? Here are some quick little one-liners of negative self-talk And here's how you can shift it into positive self-talk, okay? Or positive thinking. I've never done it before. Switch that to, it's an opportunity to learn something new. It's too complicated. You know what? I'll tackle it from a different angle. I'm too lazy to get this done. I couldn't fit it into my schedule, but I can re-examine some priorities. It's too radical a change. Hey, let's take a chance. I'm not going to get any better at this. I'll give it another try. So these are some things to kind of think on, just some things to put into your imagination. Think about it. Anytime that you're saying something negative to yourself, how can you spin that into something positive that can help shift your paradigm to look for a better tomorrow?
Into your imagination.
Mic drop. So that's kind of the end of my notes there, but
awesome.
That's something to think about going forward in the future. And again, if you want to read this, look up the Mayo Clinic. Again, that's MAYO Clinic. I'll leave a link. We're going to leave a link somewhere around here on the screen if you want to read it up yourself. And,
or can leave it in the description.
That's what I'll do as well. I'll leave it up on the description.
Click on the link and go right to it.
So if you're watching on YouTube, just scroll right down to the comments. We'll leave it pinned. You can click on that link and you go read it for yourself if you're interested.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for joining us on today's episode. We hope that we have helped some of you out there, shift your paradigm and get to that positive mindset, because we just want positivity in the world.
As much positivity as we can possibly get. And before we go, I just need to quickly fact check something, because I didn't want to say it at the start of the episode in case I would get it wrong. But if I check here, oh yeah, this is actually episode 60. We've had another milestone. The big
I like how the sun came out at a really weird time. So now I'm just like half in the sun.
I'm still in the studio, so I still have just a bunch of green behind me, as you can kind of see by the end of my hair. I have no windows.
Thank you for coming to today's TED Talk. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you.
Oh, it's more or less.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode. We hope that we helped you guys, and we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, your week, whatever you're having. And until next time, this is a bye from Kenzie and Cullen.